Hi everyone, I'm Steve, back here with Jesse. Jesse Townsend is a personal trainer at Parkway Athletic Club in Reno, Nevada. You can check him out online. Go down and say hi to Jesse. If you have comments for me, you can leave a message on my website, stevemain.com. Anything, if you want to get a hold of me or you need to, you can reach me there. So thanks for being with us again, Jesse.
Yeah, man, it's great to be here. Um, yeah, we've got a good topic today, don't we, Steve?
Yes, time under tension. Very interesting. And that time under tension, I mean, again, I'm not a scientist. But time under tension, I'm gonna say is gonna be it's gonna have to do with maybe 75 to 80% of the results you actually get. Again, I'm just pulling this out of my butt right now. But that's how important time under tension is. And I know you want to talk about that and how it can relate to different techniques while working out. So
Yep.
tell us, Jesse, what is time under tension?
Yeah, so time under tension, or TUT, right, is the way that you'll see it a lot of days as you're looking into resources. But biggest thing, man, that I find for people in this is, and again, applied through the coaching and all of the times I've seen many people work out, and all different types of people. Ages range from 7 years old all the way up to I've had people that were in their 90s that I've coached, and so I've seen a lot of different people. I've watched them have different workout styles naturally. And there's always a stage in everybody's game of the fitness level in which you want to introduce time under tension as a technique they need to apply, and not whether it is applied, but need to apply to their program and give them direction on, again, what this means. And key thing I said there was there's a time in everybody's program. And so what you see formally with programs and the way people build them, and this is the reason I wanted to bring this topic up more formally, is because you see a lot of built programs on the web or advertised through whatever it is, beach body fitness or whatever it is nowadays that's out there. And a lot of the programs, what they're doing is giving you information on how many reps, how many sets, on a conditioning level. And it's all this, you should do, 10 reps if you're looking to achieve, like a leaner muscle, 10 or above, or you should do, 8 and below with high weight if you're looking to achieve, more mass and more muscle volume. And I find, man, the more that I apply, and again, these 15, 17 years of research on my own through the industry, that it's not necessarily the truth. Sometimes that's a good platform for people to start on if you're new to the programming game and you don't really know how to follow something and you need some ideas on how much to do, right? What do I do when I go in the gym? How many sets, how many reps, have a target to aim at? Great. But the next level there is this time under tension. And so what it is it's basically, the amount of tension you can apply, to a muscle group or groups, depending on what kind of movements you're doing. And that is, basically, again, this is everything when it comes down, to this breaking down tissues and fiber that you're trying to create these micro tears in as you exercise, right? So if you're doing, a workout where you're just, pumping through the weights and you're only paying attention to reps and sets, maybe form, if you've got that one dialed in, but time under tension is often slipped. So when you apply time under tension, man, I challenge people to this all the time. I see them doing dumbbells. Let's say a flat, dumbbell press is a good one that a lot of people can know what it is. They're just moving the weight, right? They may not even be in the right zones for tension. Is the first place you start is adjusting their form to fit this tension zone, right? And then the time, just like it says, as you apply it, the way you do this or the way that I coach it is, rep speed, right? And or what is called tempo, right? And so now I'm taking somebody who's sitting on a flat bench with 50-pound dumbbells, let's say a guy that's in decent shape, middle aged, and he can rep these 50-pound dumbbells, on a flat for maybe 12 or 15 reps. Well, I'll take those away and then I'll hand him like 30-pound dumbbells, let's say, as an example, right? And then I'll ask this same person now to take, and there's a count that you teach them in tempo, which is going to control this time under tension idea. And I'll teach him with proper form, or her, to basically take these dumbbells and from the top to the bottom, or the top for the eccentric, right, the downward part of this pressing motion or this push motion, I'm going to have him or her do, a 3-second tempo count. Okay, so it's always a slow tempo. It's always about a 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. At the base, usually, and I can have a whole period down there too if I want to, organized by this tempo, or I can just say, now you go back to your push from the bottom. And usually that's a great way to keep under tension as you're practicing this, is not to have a break at the bottom or a stretch at the bottom, but to press right through it once you get to the base, right? So when you're done with the eccentric, you go to the concentric, you're pushing upward on that flat. I would have them do the same tempo, usually as a practice, so another 3 seconds on that count up. And again, as you're teaching time under tension, form comes into play, because you don't want them to go to a full press, full extension, your arms are all the way out. That's going to give you more of a break, actually, if you pay attention to your workout habits and you have a lot of motions in which you're pushing all the way out. Not to mention, it doesn't let your joints have, some of this lax on them that you need to kind of keep them safe and keep those soft tissues healthy too. So yeah, so the tempo as it breaks down would be called like a 3-0-3, right? So 3 seconds down, no pause at the bottom, 3 seconds back up, all is done in a slow count, like a 1,000 all the way up. And so that would be how you would apply it, kind of how you would use it, what it looks like. And again, you would be surprised, that person that I said in the beginning that's doing 12 or 15 reps with 50 pounds, you give them 30s, they may get through 4 reps, 5 reps, and it kind of just changes the whole game, because now, instead of just playing with weight and reps all the time, or at a home gym process, let's say, this is awesome there too, because if you're doing body weight motions, calisthenics, and/or you just don't have a big selection of workout materials or tools to use, man, you can do this time under tension technique and make really any weight you want apply to your body and the muscular system in a way where you're going to feel it, you're going to know it's working. And again, you won't need to always be changing the weights that you use. You just have to adjust this tempo to create more time under tension.
Yeah, ouch. If people have never tried this, what you're talking about, Jesse, it's amazing because for one, it's something new, and you can do all kinds of different variations of these motions. With, you talked about 3 seconds. Well, you can do um, so many seconds for a concentric contraction and an eccentric. So as you're pushing up, you might go so many seconds, and then down, you may go more or less. So there's lots of ways to vary this, but
Mm-hmm.
that lighter weight is definitely going to feel heavier when you do this, right?
That's right. Yeah, I have a lot of people, yeah, as you're getting to know them, especially as a newer coach, and you start applying these principles, I don't always just get people who are new to it. Some people, I've had plenty of people who were college athletes or professional athletes, and these kind of people have and and in this regard, it's amazing, by the way, before I go down that road, how people don't know what time and retention is, even after they've applied skill levels of workouts to the highest level of what I would think coaching is available to you at a professional level. And so it always amazes me when I bring this subject up, and it is fresher. You're right. It's more newly circulated, but it's not exactly new in the form of how you adapt it into a program. And again, so when I'm doing this, sometimes I'll have people again that, you get feeling good about the weights that you're using. And so you have to get used to mentally, not again worrying so much about how much weight can I push. And this is something, if you have a good coach or somebody that has a lot of experience, one of the first good habits that is to break for people, if they have that inside of them, is disregard the weight that you're using, only regard the form and how you can make, this mind muscle connection, and how you can, like you said, create a diversified program that's going to give you these different levels of minor tweaks and alterations to positionings of hands and such, to where now you're breaking down the body in a very acute way. and on a high level way, instead of just again applying how much weight can I throw up on a bench or how much weight can I squat, right? Like this is stuff that if you focus on the time and retention and you focus on the technique and you focus on doing things right and you have a good coach who can put these processes in perspective and get you to train on them day in and day out, the weight will come. You'll be so much stronger in the end program at what you can push when you go to do a 1 rep max or your PR day. You'll be blown away by the results that come from doing something like this.
Yeah, and you mentioned something that's interesting too. When you don't lock out, um, your muscle is your or that muscle group is under tension the whole time. A lot of guys who are lifting heavy, you're locked
Mm-hmm.
out. Your muscle is not under tension. I mean, yeah, you're doing an isometric there. If you're doing a bench press with your shoulders, rear or uh, your delts a little bit, but you're not constantly having the muscle group under tension. If you're not doing that through that whole set, which would be the exercise, again, you said you could do 6, 7, 8, 10, 20 reps.
Mm-hmm.
That would be one set of that exercise. But what you're talking about and describing is that muscle group is under tension the
Yeah.
whole time, and that will fatigue you quite quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, in a way that you're not, it's almost feels unnatural in the beginning. You're like, man, this all this, pressure and blood flow that I'm feeling, rush into here is just so much different, right? Than pumping out a handful of reps. And again, not really having, and the other thing too, right, that comes into that is focus, right? So time under tension, it creates a focus process that is vital to anybody's strength training program, right? The focus is really in the long run of it all, where a lot of people kind of like we're talking about get these results they're thinking about or wanting to create, and especially for higher level people that have already created a great foundation in this strength training way. The focus is what I always see separate, somebody who has this next level physique or this next level athleticism compared to the people, right under there, and people on the same playing field, age and weight and all these things considered. And so yeah, I think that it's just a great way to start, even having a metric set on a program in a different way. And again, you have to be sometimes coached properly through these things and these different phases you may go through an exercise program. If you're not used to it, you've never done it, a little bit different to apply because again, you're usually people have a tendency, we're creatures of habit. We like to fall back into, what we were doing. And so you may apply it for a little bit, but not long enough to actually see it make these changes in your body. And the scene changes, of course, come with that consistency over time. And so anything you do, especially a process like this, switching to it from just your normal reps and weight process you may have applied before, got to stick with it long enough and consistently enough so you can actually see and know that these changes are happening.
Yeah, and I think what you're talking about there is that connection with your brain to the
Yeah.
muscle. It's that connection. It's not, you're not just thinking about the repetition and completing the repetition. You're focusing on the muscle that is contracting, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a whole different feel on your body when you get that muscle connection where you're feeling, you're focusing on contracting that muscle. It's a completely different workout than if you're just focusing on completing the repetition.
Yeah. 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 So it kind of changes again, it kind of changes your goals, right? In this format way, again, you're not just trying to achieve, and that's why I say it's a different level, it's a great level, but it's different, for people who I see just come into the gym and they're trying to get their feet wet and they're trying to feel comfortable and they're trying to just kind of find their way a little bit. Again, like our platforms, Parkway, represents a great place for all of this stuff and comfort, and a place that has every amenity that is pretty much possible in a workout experience. So we can provide all that, but again, for the programming part of it, which is actually going to make the change to bodies and to your health patterns and or habits as you go forward, and should be applied in a lifestyle way, in my opinion. There's things we could prepare for that are coming up in life, but the lifestyle format of an exercise program is always going to be the one that does the best work for your body over time and gives you positive quality of life on a high level, right? And so again, it has to be applied to people at a level in which they're ready for most of the time. In the beginning, I usually have people do the same kind of reps and sets just for a while. Usually I do programs 4 to 6 weeks at a time, depending on what the person's body type is and what they're looking to experience, and practices, how much they come in per week. But again, the process of applying it takes some coaching and takes some learning.
Yeah, and you brought up a point. The club that I know you're in more than one club, but the club you're talking about is a beautiful club. I mean,
Yeah,
that functional area in there, you can do anything in that functional
yeah,
area. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to just go see it if you want to see what a
yeah.
functional area is. A swimming pool, I mean, all the cardio you want, all the free weights, and great trainers there. So if you haven't been to Parkway, if you're in the Reno area, just go check it out. Take a look because it's got everything you need there to do whatever your goals are. So, um, Jesse, is there anything else you want to add to this time under tension or?
No, I think we're in a good place there, man. I think that yeah, that was a great platform to get that out there. And as Steve's saying, anybody that wants to stop by, we have great staff at Parkway Athletic Club here in South Reno. The trainers are very knowledgeable. We've done a great job and just been kind of blessed, honestly, and getting some people that came our way through recruiting processes that we practice, and got a really good team over here. Everybody is very welcoming, and it's just a really easy place to start or put in an aggressive workout program, with everything that we offer.
Yeah, it is a beautiful club. I
It
mean,
is.
steam rooms and beautiful locker rooms. It's I don't know. I guess it's something that we're kind of proud of.
Yeah, I am for
So
sure.
yeah. Okay, so that's Jesse Townsend, Parkway Athletic Club. Go down and say hi to him. Thanks for being with us, Jesse.
Thank you.